Idea for this video was to be about how much money I could make on freelancer.com in 2 weeks. But after 2 days of using freelancer.com as a platform, I've completely given up. I hate freelancer.com, okay? And I'm gonna tell you all the reasons why I think this platform sucks. I wouldn't recommend using it, and honestly, why I'd recommend using any other platform like Upwork or Fiverr. And I've made a bunch of videos focusing on Upwork, and I made a bunch of videos focusing on Fiverr. Check out my channel to see those. But freelancer.com, I will never use it again after today. My name's Gavin, I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and I make these videos really just to document my own journey, provide tips and tricks for those who are in a similar place or are in places that I have been with my own agency. Currently, my agency is doing about $85,000 a month per, maybe $84,000 US per month in revenue. We have 14 staff, we have clients all around the world, and we're trying to get to 200K per month by the end of this year. Anyway, follow along for the journey, but I'm gonna give you a full breakdown of why freelancer.com is the worst thing since, God, I don't even know, the atomic bomb. This platform sucks. Let me show you. The first thing I'm gonna talk about when it comes to freelancer.com is the UI, or the user interface. And it's incredibly hard to actually understand, and I find it not very intuitive. So when you first log on, you're prompted here with this dashboard here. And I find this like pretty confusing. I don't understand the lists, I don't understand all this. It's just not easy to navigate. Now, that's the first thing. Obviously the UX, or the UI rather, kind of sucks. The other thing that I really find frustrating with Freelancer is it feels like they're trying to extract money from the people bidding on jobs at every single step of the way, as opposed to the people who have the money, who are spending money and hiring people. I don't feel like that's fair. Let me give you an example of that. To create my account, it's free, right? But if I want to apply for jobs like this, to become a verified or become verified by Freelancer and therefore be treated with higher priority in the bidding process, when I click this button, it takes me here, which means I have to spend $99 to become verified. I find that kind of annoying. I feel like the verification process should be pretty straightforward and easy to complete. So that's annoying. Then, once you do the verification process, there's all these other bidding requirements here. Now, I don't mind the bidding process, like, bidding on these different jobs, but I don't love the pricing that they have here within these bidding things. Sealed, upgrade to a sealed entry will hide your bid from other freelancers. I don't think that's really important, but you still spend money. Highlight your bid in blue. This just feels weird. And then like your current bid will rank at number 2 and then put it up to number 1. It's like $15 to do that. It just feels very like extortionate and not very friendly from like a customer perspective, which I don't love. Now, that's the verification process that kind of frustrates me, right? You have to go through the initial account creation step. Okay, cool. But then you have to spend $100 to become verified. And then they have this other requirement here, which I find, like I can't even figure out how to, let me just try and figure out how to actually navigate this. Here we go. Set up your account, and you're like, oh, okay, pass a level 1 English exam. Yeah, man, I'll do that, nice and easy. Oh, you have to buy the English exam. It's just so frustrating. Like, why should I have to spend more money on the platform if I'm the one generating you guys money from the commissions that you generate from my work? I find that really annoying, okay? The next thing I find really annoying, so hopefully that's enough right there to kind of dissuade you from using this platform. The next thing I find really annoying is the quality of jobs that are actually on this platform. So I went on here, right, and I went, all right, let's look for email marketing, right? Email marketing is a pretty commonly requested job, especially when I compare it to something like Upwork. So I go email marketing and I go view all. Let's see what kind of work we're able to get. Blog website development, that's not correct. Social media outreach, nope. Project assistant, nope. LinkedIn specialist, nope. Store build, you see what I mean? You're getting a lot of jobs that on the surface look like, oh, okay, 161 results, cool, there's quite a few jobs. When you actually start digging in, there's not a whole lot of work here. Like, I'm still kind of getting close to the bottom of the first page. Nothing. Still nothing, right? And even the ones that are on there, contact form for email delivery, $13. You see what I mean? There's really just not. Now, your industry might be different, your space might be different, but for me, in considering that email marketing is a very popular category, doesn't feel like it's worthwhile. Not very straightforward to actually find these jobs. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of depth. Now, I did actually apply for one job, and I want to show you guys something here. I applied for one job, and for some reason, my application was removed. My bid was removed. And my bid was, I recently completed a very small project. Would you be interested in seeing a video run through of it? I was meant to say very similar, whatever, I was using Whisper, but that was removed, okay? What frustrates me is that exact same prompt, minus the small, is what I use here on Upwork. And it gets me about a 22% response rate on Upwork, which is one of the highest on Upwork. I know for a fact that's significantly higher than most people. So what works on this platform gets me removed on this platform. The other frustrating thing about this, and keep in mind this was for a $72 job, I was just trying to see what kind of work I could actually generate here. But I did this job, right? And I bid on it, and I paid to get that bid. They removed my bid and then didn't refund me the money for that bid. I just find that like really extortionate and not good business practice. So on top of the system being hard to navigate, on top of there not being a whole lot of jobs there in the first place, and on top of them trying to squeeze as much money as they possibly can from me through the process of verifications, through the process of tests that they enforce and make obligatory and spending money on those, they're also removing jobs that I apply for that I know for a fact get very, very high response rates. And so when I'm looking at this platform, I'm really struggling to see why I would even work on here. It just doesn't really make sense when I could just take my attention and put it to something like Upwork, where I've generated over $200,000 on the platform. So it's just a no-brainer to just not even use this platform. I'll be honest, I started this video and I recorded this video under the impression that I'd be doing a challenge to see how much money I could make in 2 weeks. And after 2 days, I'm so jaded on this platform that I decided to scrap that video and just record this one, trashing it. Now, hopefully you found it useful. I don't recommend this tool at all. If you have any questions, comment down below. And by the way, if you want to see some of my Upwork strategies, check out the channel. There's a bunch of cool strategies where I talk about Upwork and how I generate really some pretty big numbers from that platform. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video, 2 every single week.